Hi and welcome to LCAR Low Carb Ancestral Living with Pim Jansson. This week will be a little bit different because we have a situation here in New Zealand that I wanted to try and make sense of. So today is just going to be me deciphering this new traffic light system that is going to operate here in this country. So as of the 3rd of December this year, 2021, New Zealand will move into a traffic light system to discriminate between vaccinated and unvaccinated people. So different parts of the country will have different alert levels, which will be either red, orange or green. And I doubt that we will ever see green again. So at a red alert, cafes, bars, restaurants, nightclubs are able to operate, but only individuals that have a valid vaccine passport will be able to enter the buildings. Okay? However, children under the age of 12 years and 3 months do not need a passport because we all know that children under this age don't actually spread the disease, so we don't have to worry about that. And also, you will need to be seated at your table and separated from other groups. No dancing is allowed, which also makes sense because when you dance, the virus will just thrive and throw itself off you and onto everyone else, and we will spread the disease. And this won't happen if you are sitting at a table because it's so goddamn boring that the virus can't actually be asked to make an effort to infect anyone else. And that is pretty self-explanatory. Other things that are fun, like traveling for example, is actually allowed when it's red, even if you're not vaccinated. So I can actually go on holiday. Hooray! There's just one catch. I can't leave the South Island because now you need to either be vaccinated or you need to pay for a COVID test to show that you are negative before you're taking the ferry or before you're flying over to the North Island. So that is my option. And I was trying to make sense of this because if you are vaccinated, you can still get COVID and you can still spread COVID. So if we're so damn afraid of COVID, everyone should have to have a negative COVID test before going on the ferry or the plane, right? Because I would not be happy if I went on that ferry after testing negative and some vaccinated moron infected me with COVID. Just take that advice. And then they proceed to tell us to keep up healthy habits to protect us. And I'm like, yes, I can do this because I'm eating healthy. I exercise, I get sun exposure to increase my vitamin D levels, to strengthen my immune system, and maybe I'll get a strong immune system passport. Wouldn't that be great? And I can do everything. But no, of course not. They want me to wash my hands and use hand sanitizer to increase the amount of resistant bacteria in our environment. They also want me to sneeze into my elbow, and I don't really know how to do that. I'm not flexible enough to sneeze into my elbow. I don't know if anyone is, okay? So I don't even know what you mean. We can't do that. And then they want me to keep distance from people I don't know. They want to feed my paranoia and distrust of strangers because that is great for the immune system. And if hand sanitizing isn't enough, we should also make sure that all shared surfaces are being wiped with antiseptics very often. It's literally what they say. So you never know when a pathogen lands on there, and we need to give them as many opportunities as possible to adapt to the new conditions and become resistant to these sanitizers that we're using. And did you know that we are allowed to have tradespeople in our homes and home services inside the homes during the red alert? So that's great. And something that fascinates me is that when we are out and about, the virus cannot spread if you're 2 meters apart. But when we have those horrible disease-spreading strangers that we can't trust in our homes, we're safer. We're keeping 1 meter apart. So that's really great news, I think. So if we are all freaking snails and would carry our homes with us, we would decrease the risk of spreading the disease. And I find that pretty fascinating. And I think it's amazing how the virus knows not to spread for those people that have vaccine passports when you go to the hairdresser, the barber, beauty salons, massage therapists, or when you're having driving lessons. So what if we could just instruct the virus that, hey, it doesn't matter if you're vaccinated or not, it doesn't matter if you have a vaccine passport or not, you shouldn't spread in these situations anyway. That would be great, I think, anyway. So wouldn't it be better if we try to educate the virus a bit so that we can make sense of what's actually happening and why we have these strange guidelines? As or anyone who is actually sane can probably not really make sense of these guidelines, because the virus doesn't act like any other virus in history. Why does it jump 2 meters when we are outside, and why can't it jump 1 meter when we're at home? I don't get it. I really do not get it. And what is the secret to having any individual under 12 years and 3 months not spreading the disease? Isn't that what we should be looking at instead? How come these people don't spread the disease? I think that would be the key to solving this problem. But for now, maybe we should just start a virus university for the whole family. Maybe no discrimination here. Maybe Delta can bring Omicron and Delta and Gamma and Pi, and maybe even Omega can go there and we can teach them how to behave so that we can make sense of this virus. And I think that would be such a good solution compared to what we're having now when we're playing children's games with traffic lights. And that was all I had to say on that matter. I'll see you next week.